Yes, this is an actual bow staff. Doesn't have the tape on the middle because I don't have any tape to put on there, but this is a real bow staff. I also have a pair of real chucks. Showed that in a video a long time ago. If you read the title of this, you know what this is about. My feelings on Rise. Do I like it? Do I hate it? Do I think it's a good show? Do I think it's going to last? Will it get the full few season treatment that the 87, 2003, and 2012 show got? Or will it be a one season thing like Next Mutation? Well, the first episode, or should I say special, aired as a sneak peek on TV, and then they uploaded a few episodes online early. And I've watched all of them. I've watched all of them. A few times, just so I can go through it, make sure I absorb everything in them, or at least most of the things in them, so I can form an opinion. See if I like it or hate it. Now, where do I begin with this? I guess just review the first episode. I guess I'll review each episode individually, and then give my thoughts on each of them. I'll start with the first episode. So it opens up with two guys in like jogger guys in jumpsuits, buff jogger guys, and they have baby carriers, but they have dogs in them. They're chasing after April's cat Mayhem, which right now we don't know. That's not her name yet. We also don't know it's a her yet. But if you pay attention to the leaks, you know that the little cat toy that came with the April figure, you know it's called Mayhem. So I'm just gonna call it Mayhem. So it's running. They're chasing them. Mayhem, it's a classic chase scene. It's in New York. Shit gets knocked over like a bunch of little flags. Right off the bat, you can see what kind of show this is gonna be. The little guys tiptoed through all the flags. Not little guys, but the big guys tiptoed through all the flags. It's hilarious. This is definitely I'm not even pulling in camera. Fuck that. I need to lower my chair. It's definitely a sillier show. Like, way silly. So, most people like 87 because it's what made the Turtles popular. If it wasn't for oh shit, my phone. If it wasn't for that show right there, that show wouldn't exist. Nothing Turtles related wouldn't exist except for the original comic. So, although some people think it's not as serious as 2003, 2012, or the original comics, 90s movie, people like their more serious stuff, go ahead. But you gotta be thankful for this. Well, even fans of this show hate this new show. That's how fucking silly it is. People didn't like Next Mutation because it was too silly. It was a live action show, and they try to make it more like a cartoon. And that just doesn't work. If it's live action, make it serious. 90s movies made it serious. That's because they were taken from the comics, but they had little silly elements in there too because they were mixing it with the show as well. Next Mutation, people hated it because it was too silly. And some people say, well, 87 was silly and people would love that, so stop hating on Mutation. Well, good for them. Some people like Next Mutation. I used to like it. I don't know. It's a guilty pleasure, let's say that. But back on this episode. So after they comedically tiptoed through the flags, there's this delivery guy. He'll come into the story later, so don't worry about him. But they knock him over. Then Mayhem gets chased into an alleyway, and the guys corner her, and she has a little thing on her neck. At first, I didn't know what it could be. Then I figure out it's the the mutating stuff. They don't specify if it's mutagen or ooze. It seems to be working like mutagen, but the ooze-skeetos are called ooze-skeetos. They haven't said it in the show yet, but we heard from announcements before the show came out that that's what they're called, ooze-skeetos. Is it ooze or is it mutagen? It can't be mutagen ooze. It's not the same color as the 2012 mutagen ooze, unless it looks different because it's in a different dimension. No, where would he find a Krang? I don't even think this. We thought this new Rise show would be connected with 2012, like 87 in the original comics was. You know, Krang and the 10 dimensions that they said they've been mutating, with, I guess, 2012 being number 7 because it's called Earth 7, and I don't know what 87 is. I guess maybe 2003 is one of those worlds too, but I would think that they would leave that out since they. Oh, it might be. I don't know. Point is, I thought this was going to connect with 2012 in some way, shape, or form. I thought the Krang from 2012 would be. I don't know why I thought this. Am I clever? More clever than Nickelodeon for coming up with this? I thought the Krang from 2012 would show up in Rise. Not a new Krang, the same Krang. Say that Rise is another one of the dimensions they've been mutating. I thought that'd be genius, but oh well. Maybe it is, and they just haven't done it yet. They haven't showed it yet. I don't know. But the point is, so Mayhem has mutagen on her neck in like a little circular thing. It's tied around her neck like a necklace. And she can teleport. Yep, she can teleport. Moving on. I don't think actually no, one more thing. I don't think she can teleport very far. I think she can only teleport within the same area. I don't think she can just teleport to the other side of the world. Maybe. That's what I think. But anyway, after that we cut to a little sneak peek that we had. We see a crime deal going on, and the turtles seem like they're spying on it, but they're not. Because remember, this show takes place before they started their hero life. Right now, they're just trying to live and have fun, not get spotted. You know, just trying to live their lives. They haven't really became vigilante heroes yet, which kind of bugged people. It's like the crime guy's right there, and you turtles just went right past him. You're supposed to go down there and beat his ass. Those people got to remember. This is before they started out. This is before they became the heroes. They didn't even know what was going on there. That's not what they were focusing on. They were just going to do an epic cannonball. And this is where something bugs me. They all say cowabunga here. Did you guys forget how it works? Okay, here's how it works. The original comics, there was no cowabunga, except for Casey one time. I have the comic up there, but I ain't gonna. I might. Yes, I'm gonna do it. If I can find the right comic, that is. Yeah. No. Ah, here it is. Second one I grabbed. Yeah. Now let me flip to the right page. Let's see. Here it is. This is the only time in the. Oh, there's a fucking glare. Okay, there we go. This is the only time in the original comics cowabunga is said, and it's said by Casey as a joke. I don't know if this was a nod to the 87 show. I don't know if this comic came out at the same time it did. Or if this was just Casey just making a reference. I don't know. Because cowabunga did exist before Turtles. But the point is, cowabunga wasn't Mikey's catchphrase in the original comics, or anyone's catchphrase. And then the 87 show added in cowabunga, and ever since then it's been a staple of Turtles. But it was Mikey's catchphrase in the show, the original 87 show. It was Mikey's catchphrase. That's his thing. The other Turtles did it once. Donnie did it once, Raph did it once, and Leo did it once, but it was under certain circumstances. He had his personality changed because the other Turtles thought he was too uptight, so Donnie made a raid, it'll change his personality. Turns out they need him to be uptight to keep order around there. But point is, that's it. It's Mikey's catchphrase. Then the video games had them all say it, and then the 1990 movie had them all say it. So here's how it goes. The shows, the animated shows, only Mikey says it. The movies, they all say it. The video games, they all say it. And the comics can do whatever the fuck they want. The original comics, there was no cowabunga. The adventure comics, which were based off the 87 show, had only... Actually, I never read any of them, so I don't know. But I'm just going to assume only Mikey says it. If I'm wrong, correct me. And IDW, again, I haven't read enough of them to know, but I'm pretty sure Mikey might say it. Maybe the others say it occasionally. Point is, in the animated shows, only Mikey's supposed to say cowabunga. But oh well, I'll just deal with it. They all say it now. Fuck it. Raph has his own catchphrase here, and yet he still says cowabunga. But anyway, screw it. Back into it. Yeah, they cannonball into the pool. They all say, here, Mikey's like, cow. Leo's like, Donnie's like, bung. And Raph's like, That's not exactly how they sounded. That sounded wrong, but cowabunga. And then they say cannonball. And Leo dab. You gotta really look at that quick enough before you miss it. Just pause it and see it. Leo's dabbing. Like the 87 show, this is an incarnation that doesn't take place before it was made. It takes place in 2018, the year it was made in. It seems to be a theme, a staple with the Turtles. If it's a serious incarnation, it takes place sometime in the past. If it's a more silly incarnation, it takes place in the current time. That's just it. But anyway. Then April comes in to take a picture. Woo! Splash! And here's where I have a problem. April already knows them. What the hell? April already knows them. They don't explain how they met. And if this is supposed to be before they became crime fighters in this world, shouldn't they have not made or met April yet? Also, they don't explain... I know I'm not going to be seen on camera, but I like to stand up when I rant, so don't judge me. They don't explain that they're different species. Maybe the creators thought it was obvious that they were different species. They didn't need to explain it. You can definitely tell. They're actually big and the rest of them are little. But if you don't explain, kids are going to figure out that they're different, but they're not going to figure out what they are, except maybe Raph and Leo. Leo with the red ears, and then Raph with his spiky shell. He's a snapper. But kids are going to be confused on what Mikey and Donnie are. They're going to think Donnie is a species of turtle that has a square head. And Mikey's a species of turtle that has colorful pictures on its shell. Some kids, not all, but some kids are done like that. You need to establish and explain how and why and shit. Then I remembered this is a different kind of show. Get ready, because they're not going to explain shit in this show. That bugged me. There's so much shit I could say about each episode, and when I get to the fourth, or should I say fifth episode that they released, I can have something to say, but moving on. Now, some people have been saying that the personalities of all the Turtles are kind of screwed up, and I'm like, they got Mikey mainly correct. Then I realize he's kind of slightly less jokey than usual. It's like they tone Mikey down and then tone the rest of their jokes up, especially Leo. They tone him up like a lot. People are saying this is bad. Some people like it, some people hate it, a lot hate it. They especially hate it when you compare it to 2012. I have the entire set of 2012. Like I have all of 87. I wish I could get all of 2003, but season 7 still not released. Dang it. I'm gonna hurry up with that. Anyway. People hate it because the good writing of the 2012 show and the awesomeness When the teasers of it first came out, everyone was hating on it. They thought it wasn't going to be good. And then once it came out, people were shocked that it was actually pretty great. And now people say it's not everyone. Well, a lot of people say it's the best Turtles incarnation. The best. Wow, that turned around quickly. Before it came out, everyone was saying it's going to be bad. Then it came out, and everyone says it's the best. And then we get Rise, and now everyone's just, oh boy. Went from the best to the worst. Ironic. You never thought there could be something worse than Next Mutation 2014, or even coming out of their shells. But there is, well, in a lot of people's opinion. I'm not going to say most. It hasn't been around long enough for a lot of people to. I'm just going to reveal my opinion at the end of this. This is going to be a long video. It's 15 minutes already, damn. Okay, well, anyway. Where was I? Yeah, their personalities are all out of whack. Raph, less angry. He's still the big tough guy, but he's less angry. Donnie is smart, yes. He's a tech whiz. But he doesn't have any of the nerdy aspects that we've come to know from a Donnie. It seems like something missing from his character. Leo, well, I already told you how. I already said in past videos how I feel about him. They screwed him up bad, but he's funny. Okay, I'll get into that in a minute. Then, Mikey, the one they got mostly right. Even some people said they did him wrong, and I'm like, no, he's the one they stayed the same and got correct. Now, actually watching the show, he's a little off, just a little, but he's still Mikey. I could still see him as Mikey. Not as bad as that creeper from 2014. But anyway. And everyone's hating on Miss April. But not because she's black, because they just think she's annoying. When I started watching the episodes, I didn't really mind her. Do I just have a higher tolerance? Or what? I don't know. Everyone's hating on this one. I've seen like 2, 3 different reviews that said this April's the worst April. They say she's annoying as all shit. And I'm like, not that bad. It's a little funny. Some people say she's black people stereotypes. I'm like, okay, maybe a little, but not that bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion. A lot of people are probably going to disagree, but I don't mind her. Everyone hates her, but I don't mind her. But yeah. I'm going to pause the review of the first episode just so I can say this. I was going to wait to the end of the review, but I have to say this now. I kind of love-hate this show. It gets so much stuff about the Turtles wrong. It gets their personalities wrong. It gets a lot of things wrong, and it doesn't explain shit. But it's funny. Maybe I'm just a big kid on the inside, and that's why I find this funny. But this show had me laughing at points. Like, laughing hard. When I was watching them online, I would pause and let myself laugh it out so I wouldn't miss anything in the episode. I'd pause and then laugh. It's so okay, it's a guilty pleasure, I could say. I like it, but also don't like it. I like it as a show. It's better than most shows that are out nowadays. Titans Go, Powerpuff Girls reboot, and should I go on? This is kind of like the Turtles equivalent of a bad reboot, but it's better than those other ones. My opinion. Don't get mad at me. My opinion. But I think maybe it's bad when compared to other Turtles incarnations. But it's still better than most of the cartoon shows that are currently on. Look at you, Teen Titans Go. Look at you. Well, now I'm demonetized. Actually, I don't know if I ever got monetized. Fuck it. Anyway. There, I admit it. I like it with certain things about it. It's funny. There. If you want to hate on me for liking it, go ahead, but damn it. Well, anyway, so then they're gonna go hang out somewhere else, and Raph sees Mayhem, and Mayhem apparently can change colors with her emotions because she's all scared and she's like a lighter blue now. Either that's just an animation mistake, or she can change color with her emotion. I think she can change color. So not only is she a teleporting cat, she can change color. Neat. Where's my choice? There's my choice. Getting to the next part of the show that they lied to us about and kind of made me a little upset, but get into it in a second. So after Raph jumps down there to help the kitty, Raph says he's at one with animals and then cut the kitty scratching up his face. I guess you're at one with every animal but that one, Raph. That's funny. But it immediately likes April for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm not even going to go into it. But when it scratched up Raph's face, you could see the mask was ripped and shit. But it doesn't fall off, and in the next scene it's fine. Cartoon logic. There are a lot of cartoons views, especially nowadays, that most incarnations of the Turtles didn't do, because most incarnations of the Turtles before this have been mainly just realistic. They weren't like typical cartoons. Now, this Turtle show is just like any typical cartoon. We'll show someone getting brutally hurt, like beaten up, bruised real bad, limping, cast. Next shot, they're just normal again. Some people don't like that, and I kind of iffy about it, but it's comedy. It's funny. Then the guys show up, and then the turtles pretend to be guys in turtle suits. Hilarious. Maybe just to me. Maybe some other people found it funny, but it was hilarious. I love it. Then the big guys are like, we're not afraid of your fake nerdy voices. And Donnie's like, well, that was actually my real voice. Raph says something. Donnie's like, seriously, what's wrong with my voice? You can definitely tell what kind of show this is. They are not going to take things seriously at all in this. Which some people hate. They're used to 2003, 2012, and hell, 87 may have been silly, but they still at least took battles seriously, even if their battles were silly, using stuff around them, like a fire hydrant or something. They at least took those silly battles seriously. Here, the turtles are just silly to the max. Almost like a certain other group of turtles that we're not going to mention. Mock turtles. Turtles Forever. Not the real 87. But anyway. Whatever. The point is, this is still their early days and they're teenagers. They haven't matured and they haven't really become crime fighters yet. So yeah, I guess maybe they'll get more serious as the show goes on, but and again maybe not since this is a silly show. But moving on, the guys shapeshift into whatever kind of mutants they are. The shapeshifting mutants. Now here's something I have to talk about with Baron Draxum, these guys, and a few other things. A lot of the mutants in this show aren't really mutant anythings. Like Splinter in the incarnations where he was Matoyoshi gets turned into a rat. Several other people get turned into certain animals, and certain animals get turned humanoid form. Baron Draxum and these two guys, what are they supposed to be? He has horns and hooves. He's supposed to be a goat. He seems to have a thing with mosquitoes and kind of buggish like arms with little things sticking out of them, like bugs have. Is he a bug? Is he a mutant bug man? The hell is Baron Draxum? I guess he's not a mutant of anything. He's just a mutant in general. A mutant. I guess he got mutagen on him, but since he didn't touch anything beforehand, the mutagen didn't know what to turn him into, and it just did that. I don't know. He's just a mutant. Same thing with these two guys. They're not mutants of anything. They're just mutants. Shape-shifting mutants, but mutants. And I'm guessing they can only shapeshift due to mystical powers. It's not anything from their mutations like Karai in 2012. It's not something they got from their mutation. Same thing with their dogs. Their dogs mutate into these bigger dogs. There's a cute little poodle and a cute little whatever, and then they mutate into these big dogs. Kind of like a Rottweiler or some other vicious dog. And again, They're not mutant anythings really. We've only seen animals get turned humanoid, and then humans get turned into animal-like humanoids. I've never seen an animal get mutated into anything else, like say a dog touched a turtle and then mutated into a turtle dog. It's never been done. I so this dog mutated into just a different looking, meaner dog. It's not a mutant dog of anything. It's just a mutant dog in general. I don't know. Whatever. They get their asses kicked, and then this is something that this is where their weapons come in. So they all have their original weapons. Mikey with his chucks, Raph with his sai, Leo with his ninjakin katana. But Donnie doesn't have the wooden staff. He starts out with the tech staff, which kind of bugs me a little, but oh well. Oh well, I'll deal with it. At least it's still a staff. Okay, moving on. No, one more thing I have to say. That's a bad habit of mine. I say moving on, then I have one more thing to say. I need to stop that. But the thing is, God, this is going to be a long video. I wonder who's going to watch this. Probably no one. I don't know. I would have liked it if they had all their original weapons, including the wooden staff. And then when they later get their mystic weapons, that's when Donnie decides to, here's what this could have done differently. They could have all gotten new weapons except Donnie, and Donnie, feeling left out, could have upgraded his staff into the tech staff. So he can, fit in with the rest. That would have been good writing right there. That would have been clever. No. It's already have him with the wooden staff, and then when he gets the chance to get a mystic weapon, he turns it down. Some people love that, some people hate that. I was like, Donnie, no, that weapon loves you. The weapon's like, Donnie Senpai, please. And then he's like, no, I love my tech staff. And then the weapon's like, yeah. That's not what happened in the show. That's something I made up. But we'll get to that later. So they all have their original weapons, except Donnie. They're all using them, but Donnie's goes wrong, as we see in the trailer. That's funny. It's kind of funny. Mayhem gets it back for him, and he realizes that Mayhem can teleport, and he gets distracted and gets hit with a laser beam into the wall. He's like, ouch, that hurts. Good note to self. Beam of light from that guy's sword hurts. Or something close to that, and that was kind of funny. Leo's swords get bit by that dog and broken. That's a cool-ass dog, but damn, no, his swords. Mikey and Raph try to pull ninja mode and hide in the shadows, but the guy can still see them, and they don't explain why. I guess he's a mutant with night vision? He's got the vision of a dog? I don't know. There's some funny comedy here with Raph saying one's a trash can, one's a toaster, and Mikey's like, they both look the same, and they don't look like either of those things. That's hilarious. And then April's on Raph's side and says they look like those things. That's kind of funny. And here's something that bugs me. The whole time they've been promoting this show, they're saying his special ability is that he can go fully into his shell. I thought they meant that he can go into his shell and close it like a box turtle does. All turtles, with a few exceptions, snappers being one of them, all turtles can go fully into their shells. Raiders can go completely into their shells, soft shells, except for maybe their long pointed nose, which Donnie doesn't have, whatever. They can all go fully in their shells. It's just that box turtles can go into their shells and close it. Unlike the other species of turtles, which you can just look into their shell and see them in there. Snapping turtles can't. They can partially go in their shell, but their plastron's too small to really tuck anything in. But I guess when Raph gets fully mutated, his shell gets bigger. His plastron gets bigger. But here's what bugs me. They've been saying this, and I thought they meant something else. No. Mikey goes into his shell. Raph says plan B, H, some letter. And then Mikey goes into his shell, and he says, Brother Ball, throws him. Mikey goes into his shell, and it doesn't close. And then that's when I realized what they meant. Mikey can go into his shell while the other three can't. For a show that decided to make the turtles different species, they don't know much about those other species, do they? Or turtles in general. All turtles can go in their shells, except for snappers and sea turtles, and a few other species. Box turtles can go in and close them. Whatever. Maybe mutagen, maybe being a mutant takes stuff away. I theorized that the 2003 turtles can't go in their shells because they're bigger now. Their arms and legs are too long to fit in there, going off real life. 2012, they ignored real life logic and just had them suck these things in anyway. That's my theory for 2003. They can't go in their shells anymore because they're mutants. They don't do that. So maybe they're going off the same thing here, except slightly different. If you could go in your shell as a normal turtle, you can't do it as a big turtle. But if you can go in your shell and close it as a normal turtle, when you become a mutant, you can go in your shell, you just can't close it. I guess, I don't know. Or maybe, here's how it do. Snapping turtles can go partially in their shell, but not all the way. Well, I guess when they get mutated, they just can't go in at all. Other turtles can go all the way in, but I guess when they get mutated, they can only go partially in. Box turtles can close their shells, but I guess when they're mutant, they can't. I don't know. I'm trying to ration this out, and it's, oh god, this video's 30 minutes. I have a lot to say, don't I? But anyway, after all their weapons get destroyed, except for Don's, they take April, they take the cat in like a magic ball that the cat can't teleport out of. Maybe the teleporting is from the mysticism, not the mutation. I think that's a mutant cat. Well, here's something that pissed me off. Or not really. Little kid me would get pissed. Me, I just went with it. Now it's starting to bug me. They don't know if it's a boy or a girl, or if it's a cat or a dog. I mean, I know it's a different looking kind of creature. It's a mutant and all, but it's still obviously clearly a cat. God, stupid. Okay, moving on from that stupidity. Damn Nickelodeon. They had one good turtle show that was worthy. And then they just made the next show like any other Nickelodeon show, where the characters are dumb for the sake of comedy. But anyway. So yeah, after they take it, then April refuses to let go, and they just take her with her. It's like, oh, you don't want to let go? We'll take you with us. Yeah. And then as they open the portal, that delivery guy from earlier, pulling a dumbass move, thinks it's a shortcut, goes in. He's like, this is not a shortcut. In camera face palming. There we go. That was just stupid, but okay. I thought the humans of '87 were fucking dumb. But yeah. So after that, the turtles are concerned and they don't know what to do, and then they look at the symbols that was drawn on the wall. They remember Splinter had one of those things on his "Do Not Touch" shelf. I like that. A shelf of stuff that says "Do Not Touch." That could lead to some plots or something. That seems like it's a good thing. There could be some funny stuff that happens with that. My question is, here's another problem with the explaining thing. I mean, I guess you can piece it together by yourself later in the episode, but it's you think it'd be something to... They don't explain why Splinter has that same symbol and shit. He just has it. He just has it. And then Splinter, he's, like I said with the others, or like I said, they got his character wrong. They got all the Turtles characters wrong, or at least partially wrong. With Mikey being the one that I believe they got the least wrong. They got Splinter way wrong on this. He's one of those stereotypical characters. He's the old guy who just wants to watch TV and doesn't really give a fuck. And he doesn't even remember his son's names. I thought Purple was the funny one. I told you guys that was the funniest. Actually, Mikey's the funniest in most worlds, but that's just my opinion. This Splinter, especially when compared to 2012 Splinter, one of the greatest splinters ever. And he tragically died. Then we get this. This piece of. He's funny, but as a Splinter, he's a terrible Splinter. He's worse than 2014 even. And how do you get worse than 2014? Oh boy. Whatever. The show, it made me have a few laughs, or a lot of laughs. It's funny. It's a guilty pleasure. I like it, but hate it, but hate it, but like it. So yeah, I like Splinter because he's funny, but I hate him as a Splinter because he's terrible. But anyway, after getting the thing off the shelf after Splinter fell asleep, or actually no, there's one thing I want to touch upon. The creators of the show did say that later on Leo might become the leader, and we see hints at that. Oh, and this is a weird thing. Leo calls himself Leon, and in episode 5, or should I say 4B, whatever, Donnie calls Michelangelo Michael twice. So are they gonna normify their Renaissance names? No, can we not? That I think that makes them unique with their different names. Can we not normify their names? But yeah, Leo, while Raph's making a plan with Crayon after Plan A didn't work, which was politely asking Splinter to leave, say, hey, you want to watch TV in your room? I could hook up the TV to your room. Splinter's like, no, I'm already too comfortable here. I don't want to move. Now get out of the way. So while Raph's making a plan in Crayon, Leo notices that Splinter already fell asleep, so he just goes over and grabs it. Showing that, hey, maybe he has leadership potential there. He already went and done did it while Raph was still planning. A few minutes later, we see more of that possible Raph not being a good leader thing, with him cracking under pressure when he can't figure out how to get the doohickey to work. And there's some funny dialogue there. Raph's fear stink. That's hilarious. If you don't know, the episode's up online. Just go watch it for the context. I'm not going to explain everything. This video's already going on long enough. Oh, damn, it's 36 minutes. But yeah, fear stank. It's hilarious. But after Raph can't do it, Mikey said, just let the artist of the group take care of it. So then Mikey does it. And at that moment, I looked at the screen and said, yeah, Mikey, you're my favorite. You've been my favorite, and this is why, because you're awesome. They pulled the same shit in 2012 with Mikey doing amazing shit while the other couldn't, and now they're doing it here. I love it. Mikey, you are the king. You're the best turtle. But then Raph takes credit for it afterwards. Like, I knew I could do it if I just believed in myself. That's one of the things I hated as a kid watching TV shows. I hated when characters did that. Oh, well, over to here. So then they're like, what do we do next? And they all just jump in. I have to say, this show has got to have the dumbest turtles in any incarnation. I mean, in their world, they're normal, but if you place them in another world, say 2003, 2012, or might I say the Prime Turtles world, they would be considered stupid. Even Donnie, the smart tech guy, would be considered dumb. And they would all just go jump headfirst into a dangerous situation and probably die. Because in this show, they're not that good yet because they're just starting out. Or maybe that was just an excuse for them to make them not good for the sake of comedy. I don't know. This show is doing some stuff that people aren't really proud of. But anyway, as soon as that happened, it immediately popped in my head that, yeah, these turtles aren't too bright. They'd get themselves killed if they were in an actual dangerous, serious world. So then they fall down into the Mystic City, which is kind of beautiful. It has all these weird, mystical, old buildings everywhere. There's this crazy mutants flying around. There's this giant one walking, kind of looks like a dinosaur. I love it. Again, what are these mutants of? What were they beforehand, and what are they now? What the hell? I guess they're just mutants in general. Again, just mutants in general. They're not mutants of anything. But yeah, I like that dinosaur one. It's cool. And right before I cut the commercial break, I think I could. Oh no, not I think. I could smell Raph's amazement stink. So he makes a weird smell when he's nervous or scared, and he makes a weird smell when he's amazed. What, does he have a smell for every emotion? Does his happy smell good? What does his sad smell like? But anyway, and it turns out the whole time they were up there trying to get the thing from them, April has already scouted out a lot of shit that seems impossible that she got all that done within that amount of time without getting caught. Then I remembered it's a silly cartoon. Don't question it. I actually saw a review complain about that. Like, how did she not get caught while scouting the inside of Baron Draxon's place, find that weapons room, do all that shit without getting caught and within that amount of time? It seems impossible. If she is that good, they need to bring her into the army. She could do recon. But anyway, they go in there and some dialogue is said, some of it funny, and other ones are like, all right. You try to be funny with that. It was an all right. And then the actual not jokey dialogue again, all right. It's pretty cool. They find Mayhem and they find a delivery boy and Draxum's speech. You're gonna be part of an experiment, change the face of humanity. The guy's like, "Will this hurt?" No, there was a dialogue beforehand, fake crab meat and shit. No, the calamari was pig butts, but the crab is real. That's a lie. We'll see in a second. So he takes a mosquito, puts it on the guy's head. He mutates into a fish. And here's something that Rise does that I've been doing. Me and my friend, we do a little role play with each other, and it's something or not always, but I try to put in role play because I think it makes sense. That other incarnations don't seem to do. It hurts when you mutate. I would imagine it would hurt when you mutate because your bones are changing shape. That's gotta feel painful. It's gotta give you a massive headache. In most incarnations, the mutation's like, I'm good. No, in this show, they actually do that. He's like, as he's changing, it's like, oh god, this hurts. Ah! I love that. Now make it that now all they need to do is make their blood mutagenic. But then I remember this is a kids show; they're not gonna have blood. Shit. But the only way this would be more perfect is if they made their blood mutagenic. Like you cut them, their blood goes somewhere. If something hits that blood or that blood lands on something, they mutate. That's another thing I do in the roleplay. But anyway, God, 41 minutes. I need to stop rambling on. So the guy mutates into a fish, and then it's revealed that, yep, that's imitation crab. So right off the bat, we can tell how this stuff works. It turns you into the last thing you touched. So it works like mutagen, yet they're called mosquitoes. Well, what are they? Is it mutagen ooze? Mutagen ooze? Some new substance? What is it? It works like mutagen, but it's the things that spread it are called mosquitoes. I don't get it. I'm not gonna try. I was gonna move on before I ramble for a long time, like I have been. Well, anyway, the Raph's trying to get him to go in there without weapons. Because he say, hey, we're good enough, we can do it without weapons. And then April's like, I have weapons over there in that room. And Leo's like, thank God. That's some funny dialogue. Raph's like, we can do it. Leo's like, we can't do it. That's hilarious. Again, the thing with the April scouting, how did she not get... Okay. So they go down into the weapons room, and then April lands on her face, bending her back, and then just pops back up on her feet like it's nothing. Cartoon logic! But anyway, it's like if magic and science had a baby. That's hilarious. So they find their weapons, chucks. But the chucks Mikey finds in Draxum's lair look different than the chucks he had. Those chucks look like they're customized for him. They're orange. They have little things on the end like 2012 had. Little big things on the end. His chucks beforehand were just brown and, had string. More like the 1990s movie chucks. And that seems suspicious. Why would Draxum have weapons that seem made? That's a question. Draxum's, after he mutates that guy, says that It worked just like it did all those years ago, implying that he made them. And then here's where I have a problem with the backstory. They don't explain it, and they kind of hint at it here, which is okay. You don't want to explain it, so just hint at it and let the kids piece it together. All right, let's see how you do. But here's the thing: the story that they're presenting us with, it's. Let me bring up a reason why some people don't like 2014. Okay, so in 2014, there's no Hamato Yoshi. Splinter taught them ninjutsu from a book he found in the sewer. People hate that because that's stupid. While rather it be Splinter himself or Hamato Yoshi turned into a rat, in other incarnations they're always learning it from a master. If they're just learning it from a book, they'd be crap. Which in 2014 they are. So I guess 14 knew that it was going to be like that. So I guess I can't fault them. But it took away the emotional connection with Shredder and the Turtles and Splinter. Shredder in that movie was just a secret backer of the project that made them. That's it. There's no emotional connection. Since he didn't kill Hamato Yoshi or ended up getting Hamato Yoshi mutated, ruined his life or anything. There's nothing. So pretty lame and weak. And now in this one, it seems like Shredder's not part of their backstory at all. Draxum made them, that's it. Again, pretty weak and lame. I hate that that's it. Here's how they could fix this. When they explain in the future episode, they could say that Splinter was Hamato Yoshi in this show, and the reason why he got mutated was that maybe Shredder and Draxum knew each other, and maybe Shredder gave Yoshi to Draxum, got him mutated. There you go. There's some connection. There's something that connects and makes it personal. There you go. But I don't know if they're going to do that. We'll have to wait and see. But moving on. So now we got that little rant out the way. The turtles jump down there and tell Draxum to give back the cat, and Leo's like, shouldn't we tell him to stop turning people into crabmen as well? And then he's like, yeah, give us the dog thingy, stop making crabmen, and some other funny shit is said, but it's kind of getting quieter because Draxum's zoning out and just looking at you. It looks like he has a gay crush on them. That's not what it is, but that's just what it looks like to me because I'm a pervert. Yep, those were the experiments he lost years ago. So then he has a giant mutant cyborg guy. Again, not a mutant of anything, just a mutant in general, a giant one. And also a cyborg, so a mutant cyborg. Well, whatever it is, Leo cuts its leg off. Kind of graphic and gruesome for a kid's show. I guess kids' shows are getting more hardcore nowadays. What used to be not able to be shown for kids many years ago is now perfectly fine for kids today. Hooray. And this won't be the last time that Leo cuts something off or in half. Get to that later. In a future episode. But anyway. After they defeat it accidentally, Donnie accidentally defeated it. He took a selfie. Now he's while they're all there, all tired and like, Donnie's just there texting. Draxum's like, you may fight bad now, but under my, thing, I'll train you to be better. Join me. And they're like, no, and Draxum's like, I do not surrender. Baron Draxum never surrenders. And Leo's like, well, when he gets, oh, wait a minute, I see what you did. Talking to third person wrestling. Only I can talk in the third person. Let's get him. And then this is when they figure out that they have their powers. Oh, I forgot to mention, Donnie didn't take his mystical. We already went over that earlier. So I guess my brain said don't mention that again, but damn it, now well. So yeah, Mikey accidentally discovers that his thing can, it has a face on it and it's all alive and shoots him everywhere. They don't know how to control their weapons yet, which here's what I forgot to mention this earlier. Here's what they lied to us and told us what was going to happen before. This is the beginning of the Turtles. Their beginning of everything. It's their origin story, is how they started out. So we thought either here's what they kind of hinted at, lied to us about. Their personalities, how they are now, as they get older and as they, mature, they slowly turn into the personalities we know. Raph, the angry hothead one, who's kind of a smartass. Donnie, the nerdy scientist. Mikey, the lighthearted goofball prankster. And Leo, the responsible leader. And they would also start out with their mystic weapons and shit, and then later get their normal ones. That was a lie. Donnie never even had a wooden staff, and he's never going to probably since he turned out mystic. He loves that tech staff. And the rest of them start out with their weapons, lose them, and then get these new ones. What, are they going to switch back later, or did you just lie to us to get us to shut the hell up about the new weapons? Here's what I thought they should have done. Start out with different weapons, and then later get the right weapons. Build up to it. Have it actually be the beginning, and have it build up to... Moving on. Whatever. So their weapons, they can't figure out how to work them correctly, and they get their asses kicked in the fight. And Leo falls through a portal over and over again. I found that hilarious. Oh, a line that made me pissed was when Raph's like, let's get him with the training, and Leo's like, you guys have been training? This is why I hate this version of Leo, but this is also why I like this version of Leo. He's funny, but he's not Leo. It's every other Leo, 2012, 87, Prime, 2003, 90s movie. Hell, even 2014 and even Next Mutation, Leo would probably facepalm at him. You guys have been training? That's every Leo. Just imagine it. Well, I could edit. I would add a bunch of Leos on the bottom of the screen here, just facepalm it once. That'd be funny. But moving on. So after that, Donnie is actually somewhat of a good fighter because his weapon's not mystical. So Donnie, who is usually the weakest in the group, ninjutsu and strength-wise, now apparently is the best ninja of the group. They got that completely ass backward. Like I said, I like it as a guilty pleasure, but God, did they get so many things wrong with this. Donnie would have won if it wasn't for Mikey accidentally stopping him. Like Drax was like, you fight like untrained buffoons, but under my wing, you will become unstoppable warriors. So he puts them all in cocoons to try to trap them, and Mikey and Donnie get trapped in the same cocoon, and then that's where I had a moment. Mikey, no, don't say that. Mikey's like, you don't spend enough quality time together. And Donnie's like, not now. And I'm like, no, not ever. I'm going to encourage those gay shippers. I don't have a problem with gays. But don't ship the Ninja Turtles. They're fucking brothers. I don't care if they're not by blood brothers. Just don't. Please. Don't. You want some gay brother action? Go to the Punk Turtles. Keep that shit out of my Ninja Turtles. Thank you. Anyway, so Donnie uses his goggles to scan that the place is about to blow up, and Draxon's like, why are you trying to stop my plans, Turtles? We're all in this together. Implying once again that he made them, and yeah, but Turtles don't even know what he's talking about. If he did make them, they must have been little babies, because they don't remember him at all. But yeah, the Mosquitoes get set free, so does Mayhem, and she teleports them out of there. So Mikey can open up the portal, go through, and then everything's good. And that's when they decide that they should become heroes. After that moment, Raph's like, we saved the day, we're heroes. We should have a cool hero group name like Mad Dogs. And then Leo's like, shouldn't we be called like Mutant Turtle Ninja Teams or something? Yeah, we'll work on it. Just like the running gag in 2012, they're bringing it back here, and I like that. I guess they're not going to call themselves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because April's not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and yet she's on their team, so yeah, screw it. Then all the Mosquitoes come out and just fly away. Yep, a lot of mutants are going to get made now. It's all the Turtles' fault. Anyway, so then the blinds are opening, so the turtles are like, oh god, New York's waking up, we gotta go, don't get seen. And the last thing that the episode ends on is a mosquito going splat right onto the camera, and that's how it ends. Oh, and April names the cat Mayhem and finds out it's a girl. And I think finds out it's a cat as well. And there you go. My thoughts? Like I said, when I first watched it, I laughed, thought it was funny. And then after a few rewatches and after hearing some other people's reviews, got the Turtles' personalities wrong and a few other things are wrong. And it's a guilty pleasure. I know the show is bad, especially when compared to 2012, but it's better than most shows that are on now, and it's made me laugh. I like it. Just make the characters not the Ninja Turtles and make them something else, and I think you could have a good show in your hand. But no, oh well. I like it for what it is. It's hilarious. It's corny at times. Whatever. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you like it, good for you. You can like it. But just meh. Oh, this went on for almost an hour. Hot damn. So if this 22-minute episode landed up to an hour review, I wonder how long the 11-minute episode would go out for. Probably 30 minutes. I need to make a time limit. Yeah, from now on, I'm going to review the episodes whenever they come out. And my time limit is going to be a 30-minute review. Unless they do a special, in which case it's going to be an hour. So my final thoughts, like I said earlier and just said a few minutes ago, I like, hate it, hate, like it. I love, hate it, hate, love it. I love to hate it, and then I love it, hate, love. I'm conflicted. It's terrible, but it's funny. It's like a funny kind of terrible. It's like a so bad it's good. It's a guilty pleasure. I'm just conflicted, man. I don't. Whatever. Well, we have 5 more minutes. Oh yeah. Do you guys think that this show is gonna go past 1 season? I had a prediction that it would end at 3 seasons, since there's gonna be 2 episodes played back to back, so 52 episodes instead of 26. So by season 3, they were already done, got their 100th episode out, so they could just end it right there and be good. So they don't need a 4th. Do you think the show is going to get good enough and popular enough that it's going to have many seasons? Or do you think it's going to end after 1 season like Next Mutation did? A lot of people seem to be hating on this, so it's not going to be liked. If it does stick around, it's not because it's liked. I don't. Oh, and yes, I shaved. I don't know if my blurry camera quality would allow you to see that, but yeah, I shaved. Well, R.I.P. the old weapons. They were yes. Cowbunga, Booyakasha, Babu. Yes, I just had an expectation reference there. Oh, I guess one final note about an expectation I could say. A teaser preview thing had them all say Cowbunga. Cowbunga's never said once in the show. They got something wrong there. I know it's not an animated show, but it's still one of the shows. I think the formula should keep going, even if it's not animated. TV shows, Mikey. Movies, all of them. Comics, whatever. Video games, all of them. Say 2007, I think only Mikey said it there. So wait, if it's live action, depending on if it's a show or a movie, they all say it or it's never said. And if it's an animated movie, only Mikey says it. Yeah, whatever. 2012 didn't have Cowbunga till season 3, so what the hell? I guess Cowbunga doesn't even matter. Whatever, they can all say it. Who gives a fuck? Nope, 2 minutes left. last thing I got to say. I guess not. I ain't got nothing else to say. Oh, one more thing they didn't explain or establish their ages. That got leaked online. A Japanese teaser said that, Raph was 15, Don and Leo were 14, and Mikey was 13. Never established in the show. So why would they release? Why would they bother with making a teaser about that if it wasn't even going to be important? Oh, whatever. The one thing that'll make the show better is explain. Just that's the one word, explain. Just establish, flashback, something. Yeah, whatever. Well, 1 minute left. I guess tell me in the comments if you liked Next Mutation or not. If you like, what, screw it. If you like 2014 Coming Out of Shelves, Next Mutation, or Rise, if you like those, put it in the comments. Tell me if you like it or not. If you don't like them, then just don't say anything. I want to see how many people actually like these bad incarnations, these bad worlds. Oh, I guess I could have plugged something my friend was working on, but I didn't. Now we didn't get time. I didn't think of that. Whatever. Nope. Last thing I got to say. Cowabunga, booyakasha, and bada boom. See you guys next time.